Hello, hello everybody. Welcome back to another Techu Tuesday. This is your weekly Techu stream where we share the love and enthusiasm we share for our favorite game, Techu on the Chair. I'm your host and world champion Alvaro, and I'm gonna be sharing with you guys one full hour of me playing against the AI, and hopefully if somebody else comes along the stream, then we can share a one versus one match. Anyway, without further ado, let's get started right away. As always, I'm gonna go with a step-by-step explanation as we go. Against the AI to explain why I make certain moves in the game, so you would understand why you know the decision-making process throughout the whole matches. So we just start by drawing three cards, and we play the lowest card on hand. In this case, it's going to be a three. The AI played a two, and we end up going second or last. So we just keep playing with the lowest card on hand. And at this point, the AI is moving forward. This is a clear indication it most likely has an ace on hand, either that or king. In most cases it will be because it has an ace on hand, so you should you know tread carefully here. I don't want to play this king because he's gonna ace it immediately. It's 99% chance he's gonna ace it, so that's the wrong move to make. I don't have any other cards to play on top of that ace, so right now I'm just gonna start building my backup strategy. One of the side lanes, either this one on the right or that one on the left. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, at this point, ooh, this is a hard decision to make. On one hand, you know, I usually want to go for differentials, and by differentials I mean keeping differentials to a minimum, and by that I mean trying to the difference between the car you're playing and the car you're taking over has to be the minimum, which is one. There's only 1 point between this queen and the king. On the other hand, I know he's gonna ace it. Like, I know for a fact the AI is gonna ace that king as soon as I play it on the board. The other move would be to play the ace here. That would make it a you know that will cause the AI to play sideways, and you know that leaves you that gives you the option to take over that eight later with another card, you know, not so high as a king. Now, I don't usually don't like that strategy because I like playing aces back to back, and I don't have the other ace on hand, so I won't have the chance to play back to back aces. So I am going to go with this option, which is strongly advised to not do it, not to do in a game, but that's usually the way I like doing it. I like keeping differentials to a minimum, and I don't like something else here. Aces are strong either in the middle position or these one line before the home row, one row before the opponent's home row. They're not strong in your in your side of the board. So that's another reason why I don't like playing that ace. Unless of course it's to take a king. Maybe you consider it if that was the case. But this is a queen I'm taking, so I'm not gonna use that ace. I'm gonna wait for the AI to ace that king, and then I'm gonna build my backup strategy here, which is what we always intended before we got that ace. Okay. Right now he's putting that card like a check, like in chess. He's putting a check here. Usually you want to avoid confrontations. If you have low cards, you can just play them, at random spaces in empty spaces on the board. I can play that here, but I'm holding an ace, and this is not a low level card. This is a mid range card. So we're just gonna play it here, and whatever he uses to take it over, I have the cards to back up such a move. Okay, not the ideal card I wanted to take with that ace, but it beats having the ace here. Look at that. Okay, so this is exactly what we were hoping for. I mean, that was the card I was hoping to get with that ace, and luckily we got the other ace on hand. Now there's something I wanted to test. Um, I want to give the AI the opportunity to take to. Okay, there's something you could try here, which I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play this jack here, hoping the AI has another high card that it can take. The ideal case would be to take a king. If that's the case, then I will definitely go for the king here, for the ace in this king here, because I wouldn't have to worry about the other ace, the other king, blocking my way, blocking my path. That didn't happen. Ooh, that's bad for us, because now he's gonna go for the juggler. That was a bad move to make. This is putting us in a very awkward position, and I can't let it cut me off. I prefer that very much. I would very much prefer the AI to waste that ace on a. Ooh, okay, I don't know exactly where to go from here. I don't want to use that king to take any of those cards because of these reasons. I'm winning differentials here, but that's differentials is not the end all be all. Okay. I still want to go tit for tat, so let's just keep taking cards as soon as the opportunity presents itself. Because in the end, we win by a score. And we have a 1 point lead right now. We still have a 1 point lead. I won't get past that king. And I have to play on empty spaces right now. Now he's going to take that, and I still have a 1 point lead. I just have to make sure I'm able to take cards from his side. Okay. Now this is a point where counting cards is your best friend. And unfortunately, I can't count. I don't know how to count cards. My brain doesn't work like that. I know I've taken a jack here, and since I'm playing on the computer, I can check more than one card underneath. I know he doesn't have any other queens because I took him both. I took him both. He definitely don't have any other aces or kings, but I'm worried about tens right now. Actually, he's got one right here. The other one I don't remember. If he's got a 10, he's got this. Oh, he doesn't. Oh, beautiful. Whew. And we got the first win of the evening. Let's keep the party going. Okay, so as always, we draw 3 cards and we play the lowest card on hand, unless we have an ace on hand, which is something you will consider differently in another moment. If and when we get an ace on the first draw, then I'll explain that later. But for now, just consider this. We play a lower card than the opponent, and we have other lower cards on hand. And when this is happening, when you play first and the AI goes last, then you want to start, and even with other opponents, that goes in general with whoever you're playing against. So when you have other lower cards, you can start your backup strategy early on, and then let the AI go first here moving forward. And right now we just play the 7 here. The AI is going to play in the middle. Okay, it didn't. So that's an indication it doesn't have an ace on hand. It could have a king. It doesn't have an ace. Otherwise, it would have gone forward without question, like it did in the last match. So at this point, we have two options: either play around like it is doing right now, playing around until you get better cards, or move forward, which is the decision I'd like to make because of two reasons. One, the AI is playing lower cards than we are right now. I mean, it started with the Jag on hand, which, by the way, is a huge indication of what other cards it may have on hand. Because the AI usually always plays the lowest card on hand, which means the other two cards it drew in the first turn are equal or higher than Jacks. It's not an ace because we already determined that if he had an ace, it would have moved forward. So it's probably another jack and a queen, jack and a king, something like that. So taking that into consideration, you have to think about the cards that he would play on empty spaces, but you also have to think about the cards you are playing on empty spaces. And after that jack, it started playing lower cards than me. I mean, that four is the same. We both played fours, but then he played another four, and I play a seven. At this point, the lowest card I would play is a nine, and if luck is on his side or its side, I'm Spanish speaking, so this is a gender language. Everything is a she or a he. If it starts playing lower cards than you are, then you are gonna be in serious trouble when you really need those cards, those higher cards. At this point, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play forward. The AI will definitely take that nine, but I happen to have higher cards that can back up such a move. So this is what we're gonna do right now. Okay, as I told you, it took the nine with a queen, which is perfect for us because now we have a king here. And unless the tissue gods are against us, the AI will not draw or will not have drawn an ace. Oh, yeah. It probably drew it. No, it definitely drew it in the last turn. But anyway, that's just a gamble we have to make. Or I'd like to make, I should say. Everything is not lost. This is a points game and there's a 3-point deficit. Um, but with the game is just starting. We still have 17 cards left to play, and that's what we're gonna keep doing. Now we have lower cards that we can afford to play on empty spaces, and the AI has started to put pressure on me, and we're just gonna play on more empty spaces, and now that league has grown even bigger. It's a 4-point lead right now. Okay, let's play this queen here. That's not a move I would prefer to make because the difference between that queen and the nine is far greater than I would prefer. But we couldn't afford to keep playing on empty spaces, just giving the AI more chances to increase the lead. That's not what we were hoping. That's not a good move to make. So at some point you have to be aggressive, and we were back into a corner at that point, and we had to do it. Okay, so right now we have nothing else to do but play on empty spaces, and we're just gonna grow here. Okay, big card here, and we are definitely taking that king. Not only are we decreasing the lead, or not, I don't think we're decreasing the lead, but we don't let it grow any bigger. But we have also created a safe space here, which of course I'm not gonna use right now. I'm gonna play these 10 over these 9 here. That's the best move for us right now. And of course, the AI is responding, and this is a tough choice. We can block the jack here, and which is basically putting a bandage on this wound that is licking us very good points. So we put a stop to that play, to that game. The bad thing is that the AI has a queen, sorry, a king that I now will not be able to take. Now I don't have the cards to beat that king whenever he plays it. So we just have to pray that it doesn't come soon. The upside here is that we now decrease that lead to 2 points, to 2 points. And let's see what we can do here to decrease it even more. Okay, now this is where we start playing the lowest card we have on hand to take any card on the opponent's side of the board. And look at that, he played that king. That was the card I was never gonna stop, and he played it in the best place for us to be, because we don't have to worry about that card anymore. Now the AI an ace it hasn't played, and luckily it doesn't have it. It doesn't have it just yet. So the game is tied right now. We were finally able to tie the game. So this is a whole new game we're playing right now. Again, we're back to playing the lowest card. This is a numbers game. All we have to do is make sure we take cards on each turn, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. It all comes down to this. Does he have cards? Oh yeah, that too. It's a tie, better than a loss. So it all started with this. That was the best outcome we could have hoped for, considering we got this king in the middle that was taken over by the ace that he drew probably most likely in the previous turn. Because the AI also likes playing with differentials, also likes playing the lowest card, or keeping the difference between the card you're playing and the card you're taking over to a minimum. Okay, so we've come to um, to a point where we are now facing the, not dilemma, I wouldn't say dilemma, but we are facing a different approach. We have a different approach to the cards that we're playing. We usually play the lowest card on hand, except when you have an ace, as a starting hand, in the starting hand. So what we do in this situation is we play the second lowest card, because when you have an ace, you don't want to go first. You generally don't want to go first against the AI, because of what I told you before. Usually the AI would play a card, would play in the middle right away if he has an ace on hand, and it will play sideways if it doesn't. Allowing the AI to go first, then um, letting the AI goes first allows you to know what's their strategy. And once you know what they have on hand, you know if you can be aggressive or not. If the AI plays first, or plays moves forward and doesn't play sideways, then you definitely have to take over that space, because you don't want to wait for the AI to take over your card. And just as I told you, the AI move forward. It's because he has an ace, and we're gonna take over that middle space before it does. Ooh, look at the card it just played, a jack. That's really bad when you're playing either against the AI or other people. It's really bad to play such a big card. Any face cards on empty spaces is really, really bad. And it's not the end of the world, of course, but in general, you don't want to play space cards on empty spaces. And we just got the AI to do that. At this point, we could keep the differentials game I told you before, but in this case, we know the AI played a jack because that was the lowest card on hand. So those other cards are most likely, bigger than jacks. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play this nine here, hoping the AI will play a big card over this nine, and it did. Not the card I was hoping for. I was honestly hoping it would play like a king, not an ace. I don't like aces facing each other because I like playing back-to-back aces. But that's decent enough. So we're just gonna play this queen over the jack now. Okay, that's very strange. That's not usually what the AI does. It probably doesn't want to take that queen with the ace. It must have an ace on hand, and it doesn't want to take that queen on that space because it's not very strong. The main reason for that is because let's say it does play the ace here, then I could easily take it over with this take over this queen with the king, and then the chances for the AI to get the other ace are slim, like one out of 16. That's not very good. At the same time, knowing that the AI most likely has an ace on hand, I'm not gonna play that king. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play the seven here, and then I'm gonna initiate a battle, create another front, basically. Now this one I will take because it's not in front of my ace. Okay, now I'm puzzled. None of this makes any sense based on what I've known so far, though. I mean, the AI was really holding on to it. Okay, this is a good strategy, but it's at the same time it's really bad. Not having back to back having back-to-back aces is not bad. It's in and of itself, but not taking any kings from your opponent's uh, side, or any of your opponent's king, not taking any of your opponent's kings is really, really not smart. You want to take at least one of your opponent's kings, because kings have now become unstoppable cards for me, and you don't want to give your opponents the chance to have more unstoppable cards. But in general, back-to-back aces is a really strong strategy, which is the reason I did it. So this is what we're going for. I don't want to take that eight with the king, so I'm just gonna play this here. I also don't want to take that four with the eight, and luckily I got a five. Again, we want to keep differentials to a minimum, so we're just gonna keep playing lower cards and empty spaces. Ooh, now we no longer have lower cards, so now we're gonna take over these eight with the jack, which is better than using the king to take it. Okay, so now the AI has already played both kings, and it happens to be in the home row and the row next to the home. following the home row or next to the home row, however you want to say it, which in general is good for us. Since we took a queen here, we have the luxury of wasting, if you will, this jack on this king on a jack because we also took the other queen here. So we no longer need a queen. You need to save this king to take over any of the opponent's queens. We have already done that. So we're gonna take over this king here, and the AI will have to decide which one to take, either this one or this one. It went for that one. So he's not going past this side of the board. At the moment, we have a 1 point lead, and if we keep this tit for tat, we are gonna end up winning. And because of the way we set up these back-to-back aces, and by that I mean right in front of the home row, the AI was kind of forced to take over or use up all of his empty spaces. It doesn't have any more safe spaces to play on, and but I do. I have this here, here, and here. So we're just gonna use one of them, and we're gonna take over these. Ooh. I was hoping it would play on empty spaces, which is what it's gonna do right now. If not, I'm ready to take anything he puts on the board. Oh, I was hoping to get to these one of these twos, but not gonna happen. Not today. He's gonna have to play over that card on top of these. Yep. And we got another win, the second win of the evening. Let's keep the party going. So we have 2 wins and a tie. Okay, let's continue. Okay, this is one of the worst starting hands for me. Middle cards, it's really hard. I mean, of course, it's better than having nothing but high cards, but middle cards are kind of the worst to have because you are not strong enough to move forward, but those are not low enough cards for you to play on empty spaces. You don't really enjoy putting middle cards on empty spaces because you're gonna need them later on. Ah, this is the worst. I could play a 10 on an empty space, which is absolutely undesirable for me. Uh, I would honestly rather have this king taken over by the ace, which I know it has, rather than wasting a 10 on an empty space. So luckily, we got these 3 that we're gonna play here. And now we got this king here. Ooh, look at that. Back-to-back aces taking over my kings. Both of them. Just so you know, this strategy, when I do it against the AI, I win like 99% of the games. It's really, really hard, almost next to impossible to lose when you have back-to-back aces taking both of your opponent's kings. But we're gonna see if we can turn this around. If we can beat the odds. Ah, really, really bad. I didn't expect the AI to play that queen. We need an ace really soon. Okay, so now now we are on the attack. And look at that. We got a tie. The, the, the score is tie right now. This is funny. The AI just did a favor to us because, you know, I wasted, if you could say, I had to spend one of my aces to take over this queen. And in, the best case scenario is for me to take kings with my aces. But I couldn't do that right now. Instead, I had to, again, use one of my aces to play on top of that, to take over his queen. Now, what the AI just did is play a king on top of this queen here. And that's good for me because this is a card I won't have to worry about. My strategy right now is not to go, take over this lane. That lane is lost for me. And he kind of doubled down on taking over this lane. That lane is forgotten for me. My strategy right now, my winning strategy is to cut him off here on this row, which I have the ability to do right now, but I won't do it just yet. Ideally, I'm gonna play these A's on top of his other king, unless things go south in some other way. But my ideal scenario is to cut him off completely, cut him off on this row. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna play this four over here. He's gonna try to take over these three. Oh, he didn't. Okay. I'm just gonna keep playing here until he tries to, play down here. Okay. I was hoping to get a six or a seven to take over these five or these six, but I didn't. Now I could cut him off already playing this jack over here, but at this point I want to try to watch differentials, try to keep differentials to a minimum. I want to make sure I'm gonna leave a chance for me to draw another card that can take over this king, this five or this six. Ooh. Now, this is what's going on. I'm gonna play this here. Right now, the game is tied. I knew he was gonna take it, and now I'm gonna cut him off. I can take this card anytime with this four here. I just want him to play that king, so I can finally take it. He hasn't played it yet. That kind of gets me worried. He's gonna have to play it now. We're down to the last three cards of the game. Oh, he didn't play it. Okay. He's gonna play down here. Okay, we ended up with a tie, which is the best result I could have hoped for, considering the AI took both of my kings with both of his aces in a back-to-back strategy, which for me is almost next to impossible to lose. Technically, he didn't lose either, so that kind of falls into the same category. He didn't lose, so with back-to-back strategy, back-to-back aces strategy. But again, getting a tie was the best I could have hoped for. I was hoping to get a win, but getting a tie is not bad at all. Okay, we got two ties and two wins. We're almost gonna have to cut this stream short. I'm gonna explain why later. But we never end streams with ties or losses, so we're gonna keep going until we get a win. Until we get a win. Okay, so again, playing the lowest card on hand. The AI ended up playing an even lower card, which was really difficult to do, but he did it. And we're just gonna keep playing forward and Right now we have low cards as well as the AI, so we know for a fact the AI is just buying time until it gets the card that it wants to play with. We have no other choice. I mean, we could technically go forward, but we don't have cards to back up such a move. Anything higher than an eight, and I'm screwed. So let's just go for.